Mount Fuji. What is Mount Fuji? Mount Fuji is the tallest mountain in Japan. It is a volcanic cone that has not erupted since the Hoei eruption in 1707 to 1708. The last eruption did not release lava, but 800 million cubic meters of volcanic ash. The volcano is currently classified as active with low risk of eruption by geologists. Here we have a beautiful picture of Mount Fuji with a Shinkansen in front of it, and in front of that, sakura blossoms. It is one of the most beautiful scenes in all of Japan. How is Mount Fuji formed? 4 distinct phases of volcanic activity created the Mount Fuji that we know today. The first phase was the Sinkomitake phase. It was composed of andesite core recently discovered deep within the mountain. After that, there was the Komatake phase. The Komatake Fuji phase was a basalt layer believed to be formed several hundred thousands of years ago. There is the third phase, which was the Old Fuji phase, which approximately was made 100,000 years ago. Then it went inactive again until the New Fuji phase, which was believed to have formed over the top of Old Fuji around 10,000 years ago. Where is Mount Fuji located? Mount Fuji is located at the triple junction where the Amurian plate and the Okhotsk plate and the Philippine Sea plate meet. Those plates form the western part of Japan, the eastern part of Japan, and the Izu Peninsula respectively. It is west of Tokyo. There are 3 small surrounding cities: Gotemba to the south, Fujiyoshida to the north, and Fujinomiya to the southwest. There are 8 peaks on Mount Fuji, the tallest of which is 3,776 meters, which is 12,388 feet. The base is approximately 126 kilometers, or 78 miles in circumference. Inside Mount Fuji's summit lies a huge crater about 1,500 feet wide and 700 feet deep. Dark cooled lava flows cover much of the volcano slopes. Mount Fuji has slopes packed with more than 100 other small cones and openings. Mount Fuji is covered in snow for several months with the lowest recorded temperature of 38 degrees Celsius. The highest recorded temperature, though, is 17.8 degrees Celsius. The base is surrounded by the Aokigahara forest. There are several myths and fairy tales that heavily surround this forest. Supposedly there are demons and ghosts within them. Now we have a beautiful picture of the top of Mount Fuji. Notice the crater on top. 200,000 people climb Mount Fuji every year, 30% of whom are foreigners. The climbing is encouraged from July 1st to August 27th. Some climb the mountain at night in order to be in a position at or near the summit when the sun rises. Climbing in October to May is discouraged after several high-profile deaths during this time period. Paragliding. It often takes place on the south side of the mountain in between Gotemba and Subashiri. What to do when I can't go on the mountain? There is always fuji-q Highland, which is an awesome amusement park that I myself have been to. It has the 10th fastest roller coaster in the world, and it also has a wonderful ice skating rink where you can gaze up at Mount Fuji. There are several lakes that surround Mount Fuji, one of which is Lake Ashi. Lake Ashi has an awesome boat ride that you can take, and it also has a lot of natural hot springs. What does Mount Fuji mean to the Japanese? It is referred to as fuji-san by the people. It is one of the 3 holy mountains. It has been the inspiration to countless artists. The summit of Mount Fuji has long been considered sacred. The peak has been worshipped as the home of a fire god and as the home of a Shinto goddess of trees. In Buddhism, Fuji is where Dainichi Nyorai, the Buddha of the all-illuminating wisdom, lives. Since the 15th century, Fuji has been popular for religious pilgrimage, but women were not allowed on until the Meiji era. The uncertain future of this volcano. In 2000 and 2001, scientists were shocked by discovering small earthquakes under the mountain. Is it possible that Mount Fuji is overdue for an eruption? According to Shigeo Aramaki, a leading volcano expert in Japan, he says, in the last 300 years there has been no eruption. With a past level activity in mind, you cannot deny that 300 years of repose is pretty long. Too long.